So now let's see how we can integrate Salesforce with Microsoft Sharepoint. The first step that we need to do in the process is to enable files connect in the org. So by default, files connect is not enabled. We need to go and enable it. So we need to go to the setup menu from the top of the window. We are logged in. We need to be logged in as a system administrator. So let's So under Salesforce file settings, we can see file connect. Now we can see that this is disabled at the moment. So let's go ahead and enable this. The file sharing can be copy or reference. Copy means that the documents will be copied to Salesforce. Reference means that the Salesforce will only contain the reference to the files. External object search layout, it's actually to display the fields for the files on the search layout. So when we click on the global search and we can see all the files in here, we can configure which fields need to be displayed. So we need to click on this one, click on save. Yeah. So now files connect is enabled in this org, but still we need to configure another step. We need to provide a permission to the profile, wherein we say that we are authorized to do files connect configurations. So we will create a permission set for that. Let's create a new permission set. I'll call this permission set as files connect permission set, and I'm not going to assign any user license to this permission set. So now we scroll down under system permissions. If we click on edit here and look for files connect on cloud. So this is the permission that we need to assign to this permission set. Files connect on premises is for the SharePoint servers that are installed on premise. So like SharePoint 2010 or 2007 servers which are installed on premise, we will need to enable this setting in case we are integrating with SharePoint on premises. Let's just for this demo we will click on files, click cloud and save it. So now let's go ahead and assign this permission set to the user. So I am going to assign it to my user, which I'm currently logged in. Yeah. So now if I go to my external data sources and if I click on the new external data source and I click on type, now I can see that there are three options for files connect. These options are not there by default, but when we do those earlier steps, these will be visible then. So over here we will select files connect Microsoft SharePoint Online when we create an external data source, but there's another step that we need to do before this, and that is to create an authentication provider. So from the setup, let's find auth provider. So under security control we can see this auth provider link. Let's click on this link and let's configure one new auth provider for this. The provider type here has to be Microsoft Access Control Service. Yes, so let's call this SharePoint Online. So this will be by default. Let's just put in a placeholder here for consumer key. We will put this later on. Similarly for consumer secret. authorization endpoint. Let's also keep it as a domain, and let's put it in and click on save. So now we have these three URLs that have been created for us. What we will do next is to configure our SharePoint uh, to be used. Uh, so this is the URL that I will be using to create a new app on SharePoint. So what we need to do is to create an app which will be used for OAuth authorization on the Salesforce side. The URL for this will change depending upon whoever is creating the app. So currently I am creating inside my SharePoint account, so that's why we see this in the URL. But depending upon if we have another site which is common or public to the users, we can create one app for different for all the users. So but currently I only have the access to my account on SharePoint, so I will be using this link and create an app under my account. On the client ID, if I click on generate, it will generate a client ID for me. I click on generate for client secret. Title, let's put as SharePoint Online. App domain. So this will be the domain of the Salesforce server. So this is my domain, my Salesforce domain. So I'll copy this and put it inside the app domain and redirect URL. Now this will be the callback URL from in here. I'll just copy this callback URL and put it inside redirect URL, and I click on create here. Yeah. So it says that the new app is created. So now we will copy this client ID to our auth provider here, and client secret. So the authorization endpoint, we have I have created some authorization endpoints here. Uh, this is again depending upon the URL that I have. This will change for users. So this is my current authorization URL. I just copy it and put token endpoint URL can also create it. Yeah. So I have all the information now, and I click on save here. So my auth provider is now set up. On the on the Microsoft SharePoint side, you have another step to do, which is to assign the permission to this app. So this is the URL for that. Under the app ID, I will need to give the consumer key. Click on look up here. So it will fill all the other information. Now the permission request XML needs to be filled here. I have created this XML. If I click on my document, we can see this XML. I will copy it and paste it here. So what this says is to the site collection, we are giving the full control to do anything. We can have, read or write whatever permission you want to give, and then I'm going to save it. So now it's asking for my trust. I'm going to say trusted. So now my site is configured on this SharePoint site. What I'll do next is to I'll come back to Salesforce and create an external data source. So let's call this external data source as the type of this is files. My files connect Microsoft SharePoint Online. This site URL under my notepad I have used this. So this is my site URL. And you can see that this is pointing to my personal site. The identity type can be per user or named principal. Per user means that whatever app that you are connecting to will be authenticated per user. So if you have a login control mechanism, you can use per user wherein you can authenticate multiple users for the site. If you use name principal, then you will just need to authenticate with that app once, and then every user will be able to connect to that site. So we will use per user here. Authentication provider, we just created the authentication provider. I'm going to use SharePoint Online here, and I'm going to click save. So now when I click save, it takes me to SharePoint Online and it asks me for my trust. I'm going to say trusted. So now this external data source has been created. We can click on the validated sync button here. And it reads back the table from Microsoft SharePoint Online server. We select this table and click on sync. So it will create an external object for us. So now the process is complete. If we go to any of the opportunities on this org, this is another org that I have chosen for the demo. This is not the one where I displayed you the earlier part. So if I go on to org 3, click on file and click on select a file from Salesforce. We still can't see that external data source that we created because there's another step that we need to do. So I'll go back and find the permission set which I created. So this is the files connect permission set. We need to do a couple more things here. So under the external data source access, what we need to do is to assign the data source that we created to this permission set. And also on the object settings, we scroll down and for items underscore Sharepoint online, which is an external object, we will assign the date permissions. So now if I go on to opportunity page, go to file, select the file from Salesforce. Now I can see the external files and see the SharePoint Online link. I am going to click on SharePoint Online. The first time you click on the SharePoint Online, it presents you with this link. Uh, so you have to click on this link for the first time. It asks you for a trust again. You click on trust link, and it takes you back to the Salesforce page. So that happened only for one time. That is the first time. And now I can see my folder structure on my SharePoint. So I can again click on the documents and I can attach any file. So I have added that file. We can see that file over here. So that is how easy it is to configure Microsoft SharePoint integration inside Salesforce using Files Connect. So that's all really from me in this demo. If you have any questions on this or have any doubts, just let me know.